I wasn't expecting company, but if you stay out of the shrubs and flower beds, you can stay.
Give them a wave, Pops, now that you've invited them in. We're two old guys who enjoy playing sandbox and survival games together. I'm Uncle Craig. Go ahead and sit down. Let's visit for a while.
When I first recorded this video, I realized afterwards I had my mute on my microphone, and so we're going to try again. We'll do a voiceover on this. Well, we've reached level 75. When we reached level 75, we got our tactical, and we have agitating energies for our tactical that we use for Anry. Now, since we're level 80, we're now going to start the finish up getting the late game gearing done. This is short of Ricotta gear, but it is where you want to go next on your way to that level. So we're selling off a couple pieces of junk here, and before we move on, but we're going to now go from the tactical vendor to Lundar, who is in the next room. Now, Lundar has the ability to develop for us legendary implants. Now, he's going to want us to run a mission for him, and so we're going to go talk to him a minute. After we talk to him the first time, which is a very short conversation, especially if you spacebar through it, there's going to be a timer, and the timer is for about 30 seconds. Now, once that 30-second timer is over, then you talk to him a second time. And after that second time of talking with him, you'll see the yellow triangular mission marker with a green light in the middle of it show above his head again. And when you talk to him that second time, you will receive the mission called Technological Advancements. He's going to give us a neuro key after this conversation, and that device needs to be charged. Wow, there's a lot of people in this area right now. That needs to be charged up with 100 charges. And there's going to be different activities we can do. I'll show them here in a moment. That will charge up that neuro key for us. Some activities result in a higher number of charges than others. So here's the list. If you click the technological advancements and take a look, you see a list of things you can complete to get different charges. And if you notice on the top there, you get 34 charges, which is the most for finishing Personal Conquest. Personal Conquest is getting 100 conquest points within a Star Wars week, which is 100,000. I hope I said that right. 100,000 personal conquest points within a Star Wars week. So if you're starting on a Tuesday, you can get it done pretty quickly, get the 34. Then out of the next level that you can get the 10 point ones, the easiest ones to do here are the completing heroic weekly missions. That gives you 10 charges each. Now, weekly heroic is planetary based. So we're going to go through the planets from the easiest planets to the harder ones. And I'll give you a resource for finding out what those planets are. And as we complete each one, we get 10 charges. So there's going to be a point where we get 94 charges in that device. At that point, we will run one flashpoint. And if you look on there, veteran flashpoints, you get 6 charges for that, and so that will finish us off with the 100. And at that point, we will come back here and talk to Lundar and get access to the legendary implants. We'll want to use a resource like Volk.com, which has good guides on the different combat styles and disciplines, what gear to have on and what the different gear does. And so I highly recommend going out to Volk by the time you finish these charges and figure out for your character what legendary implants you're going to want to buy from Lundar. So now we're going to take a run to the other side of the room. So this room we're leaving is where Lundar is. This room to our right is where the tacticals are and the spoils of war vendor. And then we're going to come over here to Hyde and Zeke. I don't know if they're brothers or not, but Hyde always seems like he's a little stoned or high or agitated or something. He's always flailing around there. Zeke over here is the one who is the actual vendor, and he's going to provide us with level 80 modifications. These modifications, if you put them in gear that is fully modifiable, in other words, you can add an enhancement and a mod and an armoring, maybe a barrel or a hilt of your choice. When you put those in gear that's like that, that gear will be level 340. But right now, he doesn't have anything for us. What we're going to need to do is talk to Hyde here. He's going to want us to provide him with components he's going to need in order for Zeke to provide the modifications at the level we want. Now, once I go through this part of the conversation here, Hyde is going to give us a list of different types of gear that we can break down, deconstruct, and give him the components for. It would look here like you would want to walk through each one of these and complete each one. Don't do that. It's a waste of time. You really just want the very best modifications, and it's no harder to get those best modifications than it is the other ones. So just go for that. So we're going to select 340 prototype. Now, the 340 prototype mission will give you all of the best, the enhancements at the highest item rating and the most primary stats. So like accuracy and alacrity, critical, it'll give you the highest of those stats with that. The artifact ones will give you 3 enhancements, which, even though they have the same value on the primary stat, the secondary stats are modified a little bit. They're tweaked a little bit to make them even better for especially like damage dealers. So that will only give us the enhancements. The 340 prototype will give us all of them. Again, the mods, armoring, enhancements, barrels, and hilts. So we're going to select that one. Now, we're not going to go and buy any gear. Don't buy conquest gear. Don't buy flashpoint gear. Don't buy any gear over there at the gear vendors. We're going to upgrade some gear, but we're not going to buy any. And we're not going to focus on this particular mission at first. We're going to focus on the Lundar mission. So we're going to go ahead and run the flashpoints on the different planets. When we do that, we're going to be getting currency. We're going to be getting dropped gear that we will be then equipping. So improve your gear with the drops, but don't go buy any gear. Once we get the legendary implants taken care of, we're going to go run a bunch of flashpoints, one after the other. We're going to get more gear that we can add to our equipment, and we're going to end up getting some Supreme Decurion gear, which is the prototype gear that we need to break down for Hyde. And as we do that, we're going to break down the gear that we get, and when we have enough flashpoint stabilizers, we're going to come back to the upgrade vendor and upgrade our items to the levels that we need. So we're going to try to upgrade one piece of gear up to 340 and then break that down for Hyde. So my voiceover went a little bit over the video, but hopefully that was helpful. And now we're going to move on to getting right to earning all of those things we just talked about.